data! It's the data! This project right here was started in March, finished in March, and then it was never touched again. That was last year. It's not even that I didn't have enough data or anything. Like, I have everything I need, as you can see from this, but I just never got around to finishing it. Regardless of that, let's actually start talking about what attack does. The attack value is attack minus defense, and that is what I use for my data to analyze. So for example, 7 attack value would be 9 attack versus 2 defense. While 0 attack value could be 5 attack, 5 defense, 4 attack, 4 defense, etc., etc. Now with 0 attack value, you get the base numbers. The base numbers are what the calculations are based off of. So every single value you see above and below this is a calculation based off this base number. And these calculations remain consistent throughout every single test, which is what I have over here, which is the average of all the values. Both Scythe and Greatsword have the biggest ones because of the mix-ups you can do. So for example, with Sidelight, you can do one that hits them up or one that hits them away. Greatsword has the combos of starter, bridge, and finisher. For Endlight, first one does 10. I forgot to put the values in. Don't mind that. The bridge does 11, and the finisher does 14. And then for some reason, some moves don't have a consistent attack value. So for like Lance Recovery, you can charge it. So the damage increases or decreases depending on how long you charge it. So that's why you see the 19 through 25. And then other attacks are not easy to calculate. Like Guitar's down air, right? You think that'd be easy to do. You just hit them with a down air. But because the downer hits them multiple times, you have to make use of the entire move. So you have to make it so the very first of the attack hits and the very end of the attack hits. Which on guitars, down air can only be done consistently with 22 damage on very low damage. These were the very first tests that I did. This top row is what I initially did. And then I soon realized that if attack and defense equal the same, then that's how you get this base value. If we get 100 likes on this video, I will release a link to the Google Sheets. That'll be free to use for anybody. So make sure to subscribe and share the video. Now I'm going to go through some of the weapons and comment on which combos are better than others. So like for example, unarmed. Downlight into ground pound does more damage into downlight recovery. So that's an option. Though I would say it's up to you. In very low damage, both downlight recovery and downlight ground pound combo into a lot of different things, so I think either one works. But if you just want damage with no follow-ups, then downlight ground pound is the way to go. Same with axe. If you do sidelight Sair, that does more damage than sidelight nair. And you can tell from axe just how much the calculations benefit higher damage. Like with 8, it goes up by 1.3 max from what I tested, and from 22 it can go up to 25.58. -7 I can calculate, but I never like could test it, so that's why I never filled it. It's just a gray blank. With hammer, there's not much to say about it. Downlight side air does more damage, but downlight into recovery can combo into many different things. So also, neutral light into side light is a really good starting combo that gets decent damage. With sword, there's not much to say really. Downlight combos into everything, so ground pound would be the best, but recovery and dare are both good options. There's not much to say about Scythe. Scythe doesn't really have that many true combos. The only one I can think of is high dex, Endlight into nair, and recovery into side lights at very low damage. Not much to say about Lance also. Only thing I can say was testing the recovery was a pain. For bow, most of the values are either 18 or 16, and I'd say bow out of all the weapons is like a great middle ground. Oh, I lied about that. Gauntlets downlight does the most damage. As a weapon, Guitars do the least damage. It's on par with unarmed, and the only thing that saves it from being like bad is down air. But in most games, you'll never get 22 damage from a single down air. Not much to say about cannon. Well, I lied again. Look at this. Look at this. This says 14 for the downlight. I'm not even looking ahead. I'm just assuming. But because downlight can combo into both Nair and Dare, it doesn't really matter what you do. Greatsword is just a mess to even look into. But the highest combo would be Endlight Starter, Sidelight Bridge, and Downlight Finisher. And then the last and final thing we will look at are the calculations that I came up with. These are what I use to calculate the damage multipliers for each value. So for 12 damage, for the base value of 12, I calculated what the difference was. 16 the difference, 20 difference, 24 difference. Just to get the most accurate number I possibly could. Well, I took the average, and then I took the value difference of each one. So from this one compared to this one, you get that. This one compared to this one, you get that. This one compared to this one, you get that. And it starts affecting less in the higher damages, as you can see here. But it makes sense because the number's already getting bigger, so decreasing this value will still make it increase by a good amount. But with the SIGs, I noticed that they don't do base damage, at least from what I tested. Yeah, hey, it's me from the editor. Apparently they did change that to where SIGs do change damage based on attack and defense. I don't know what update changed it, but I swear when I first did this, it didn't do a thing. Anyway, 100 likes, and I share the link of the Google Sheets, and post your questions in the comments so I can make a follow-up and answer some questions about whether it's damage or how I got it. And yeah, hope you enjoyed, and peace.
Off